Here we go.
Today, we're pulling the curtain back and taking you inside Woodland Park Zoo.
Bobby, sit. 293. Good girl.
New exhibits,
After you.
All right. Welcome to Bug World.
new animals,
Whoa, it's so cute.
and new adventures await
It's okay.
Sorry.
You're okay.
right now on Cairo 7.
When was the last time you checked in on your neighbors? Well, today, that's exactly what we're gonna do. Hey everyone, I'm Elle Thomas. We are back at Living Northwest Trail, visiting our Northwest neighbors, the animals in our region who call WPZ home. And a lot has changed since we were here last. Our favorite bear duo is a year older and a lot wiser. Open. Very good. We check in on their checkup. And it's time to put some pest rumors to rest.
And their lives are just important to our lives on Earth as ours are to ourselves.
Yeah, she's talking about cockroaches and spiders, but these little guys are not the nightmare neighbors that they're made out to be. Get ready to bug out in Bug World. Plus, it's moving day for the zoo's two newest residents. But before we meet the half-siblings inside of this trailer, let's check in on our favorite bear buddies, Juniper and Fern. They've been here for about a year now, and they pretty much do everything together. And we mean everything. They forage together, they play together, they eat snacks together, and if one is walking away, chances are the other one isn't far behind. They even had a birthday party together featuring a special ice cake with fruit and veggie juice. But the reason you get to see all of this is because of all the people behind the scenes. And let me tell you, getting these cubs ready just to start their day is no small task. Here we go. The door may say danger, but with these keepers around, I've never felt safer. Straight away, Juniper greets us at the gate. She must know it's time for breakfast. Okay, this is incredible because I've never been this close to an actual bear. They're over here like, where's our breakfast?
Yep.
Good thing we're here to help. And with both bears locked up, we're good to go inside their exhibit. Today's menu featuring a nice summer salad, tubes of peanut butter and yams, and in true Seattle fashion, a little bit of coffee. Let's go feed them.
So we're trying to also recreate them having to forage and having to walk around and search for their food.
It may not look like it, but this bucket full of food serves a lot of purposes. First, it helps the bears mimic their natural behaviors, having to forage around. Then it mimics their natural diet. Lots of greens in spring. And last but not least, it stimulates them mentally, keeping them busy and entertained.
Just think about how difficult do you want to make it for Fern and Juniper to get their diet today?
I want to make it kind of difficult because I hear they're a little chunky.
They can be chunky. So that is one of our biggest jobs here is getting animals not chunky. It's very easy to make an animal chunky. It's not easy to make an animal thin.
Okay.
So we do a lot of weight management with them. The keepers weigh them anywhere from weekly to monthly, and we also balance their diet off of what their weight and their body condition does.
Now the goal here is to make it a challenge. So we throw some here, hide some there.
We also try to encourage them to dig. Bears dig.
Top it all off with some hidden brown pellets packed full of nutrients, carbs, and vitamins.
These are browse biscuits, so they're made out of a lot of edible plant material.
And of course, no breakfast would be complete without a good old cup of joe. These are Seattle bears after all. Okay, so who would have known bears like coffee? She said it's one of their favorite scents, and they actually like to roll around in it and enjoy it just like we do in the morning. All right, is that enough? Nice little cup of coffee for them? There's still more in there. Don't worry, I didn't use the whole bag. Gotta save it. And just like that, you have one balanced breakfast and one fun game.
We have the option of putting food in many, many locations, so the bears never know where it's at.
I love
so
it.
They spend time looking at different locations where some food was here yesterday, it may not be here today.
It's a game of hide and seek.
It is a game of hide and seek.
Albeit a losing game for the keepers.
We've never stumped them. They're going to basically track where we went, and they know our smell. They know what we do out here.
So you can't fool them.
We can't fool them.
Now that the table is set, so then are they ready to
They're ready.
have their breakfast?
They're ready. We
clear out so the girls can come in. Okay, release the bears. Within seconds, the cubs come running. Does it surprise you how quickly they pop out of that door?
It does not surprise me one bit. They see what's happening as we're moving in and out of the exhibit. They know we're taking stuff out for them, so they know stuff's out there for them, so they want it.
Fern darts towards the water while Juniper heads for the hills, scoping out snacks, sniffing that tasty coffee. And after that coffee buzz dies down, Fern settles into her wood chip bed for a big yawn and a little bear nap. Meanwhile, Juniper takes up a prime perching spot on Pride Rock.
It is very rewarding to us to share this with them. We get a lot of joy out of being able to help these animals and help their situation, help their story. They would not have been able to survive in the wild if they were just left there. So yes, it was sad to start, but we're very honored that we're able to help them and help educate our guests when they come to see, that sitting in front of us.
A couple of active, healthy, and growing bears. And yes, they are growing fast. Right now, the keepers have to weigh Fern and Juniper once a week just to make sure they aren't eating too much. So how do you get a bear to step on a scale? More food, of course.
Hey, Bobs, come here, ma'am.
Back in the holding space, Keeper Maddie takes a front row seat for a little face to snout training. And these bears are seriously getting the royal treatment, quite literally being hand-fed grapes.
They've been trained to come here and lay down, and the bears have to be in a calm, relaxed position. They can't be pawing at the bars. They have to be responding appropriately to the keepers.
This is step one, getting the girls to the point where they sit calmly, knowing a food reward is coming. Step two is to take it a step farther.
Atta girl.
Juniper knows once that gate opens, more treats are on the way, so she walks right in.
I'm gonna lay down this way. Come here. Down. Good girl.
And Juniper is very well trained.
Sit. Good.
Just like that, she sits right on that scale.
293. Good girl.
But the training doesn't end there. You hear that click? That's just an easy way Maddie can reinforce good behavior. Think of it this way. Hear a click, get a treat.
Down. Good girl.
Maddie has Juniper come down to the ground. Then she takes a back scratcher in her right hand to put pressure on Juniper's paw.
Foot. Good girl.
And hip. Meanwhile, her left hand keeps those grapes coming. And no, it does not hurt Juniper, but it does get her used to being touched and with different amounts of pressure.
And we also would like to be able to do voluntary hand injections if they ever need vaccinations or anything like that. So we get her used to touching her hip too. Hip. Good job.
And while we're at it, may as well check those pearly whites.
Open. Good girl. We'll do one more. Open. Very good.
A few minutes and a big bowl of grapes later, Juniper's health check is done.
All right, all done.
Of course, she hangs around, hoping for a little extra airtime, or maybe just a few extra snacks.
Good job, Mama. And that's how we weigh the bears.
Pretty cool, huh? Well, now that you've had a chance to see Juniper and Fern up close and personal, you may have noticed they look a little different. Both are brown bears, but only one is a grizzly. Speaking of which, do you know what makes a grizzly bear a grizzly? Is it location, diet, genetics? Think about it. We'll let you know the answer on the other side of the break. Okay, a warning before we continue, be prepared for maximum level of cuteness because when we come back, we're introducing you to a brand new zoo baby. And I Spy with My Little Eye, a new animal on the Northwest Trail, will help you spot new friends on display for the very first time. When you think Woodland Park Zoo, you may be thinking lions, tigers, and bears, but how about all things inside the wonderful world of bugs? That's right, we're showing you bugs you may have seen in your own backyard and others you definitely haven't. Stay with us, we'll be right back. Welcome back, everyone. Hey, have you noticed any changes to the pond turtle exhibit? Take a look really closely and you'll see them. The pond turtles have officially moved in. At one point, these little guys were nearly extinct in Washington state. Then, the Pond Turtle Recovery Project was hatched, giving turtles a head start in life by head starting them in the lab. The zoo takes turtle eggs from the wild and gives them lots of love to help them grow. Then, once they're big enough, the turtles go home. In just 30 years, a measly 150 turtles has exploded to more than 2,000. Okay, before the break, we asked you what makes a grizzly a grizzly. And baby, it is all about location, location, location. Here's what you need to know. All grizzlies are brown bears, but not all brown bears are grizzlies. It comes down to where the bear lives. Are they on the coast or inland? The answer to that question influences their diet, size, even their behavior. So who's who? Only inland bears are grizzlies. Remember, Fern comes from Montana. She's an inland bear, so she is a grizzly. Juniper is a coastal bear from Alaska. She's a brown bear, just like Fern, but she's not a grizzly. Think of it like this. They're kind of like siblings. They look alike, but they're not twins.
Shh. Okay, we have to be quiet because they're sleeping right now. But the sad truth is, guys, grizzly bears like Fern are impossible to find in our region. And it wasn't always that way. And now the zoo is working really hard to try and change that.
Once upon a time, grizzly bears ran wild in the North Cascades, tens of thousands of them. But by the early 1900s, that all changed.
They were heavily trapped and poisoned in some cases and hunted, and suddenly they were gone.
How does that make you feel?
You know, it's a mix of feelings. It feels obviously very sad that it's because of people that they're gone, but it's so exciting that we now have this opportunity to complete the rewilding puzzle.
Paula McKay is a carnivore conservation specialist with WPZ.
Grizzly bears are the missing piece in the rewilding puzzle, and now we have a chance to bring them back.
That puzzle is already being put back together. The National Park Service and U.S. Fish and Wildlife have been exploring grizzly bear recovery in our region for a long time. And right now, the North Cascades is one of just 6 places where grizzlies could be reintroduced.
We have a unique opportunity. There's plenty of food, there's plenty of space, and that's pretty rare in today's world. So this is a real opportunity for us.
The goal? To see 200 grizzly bears back in the North Cascades within the next century.
We have such an amazing animal that we removed from the landscape, and now we can bring this animal back.
We can undo the bad.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, yep. And hopefully, do it a lot better, because now we know that we can coexist with these animals.
There are a few easy things you can do right now to help our bear buddies out and better coexist with all carnivores in the Northwest. Like keeping trash inside until it's ready to be picked up. If you have a picnic at the park, make sure to clean up all the food. When you go for walks with your dog, keep them on a leash and make sure to feed your pets inside. Also, go hiking with a buddy. And if bears might be active in your area, make sure to take those bird feeders down.
These may seem like small changes to you, but when we all commit, they can make a big impact. So next time you're at the zoo, make sure you drop a pledge card to show your support. I'm going to feed my pets inside because I don't want to tempt any of our wild friends with my dog's food. Now let's meet the zoo's newest residents, Huckleberry and Holly. These 2 young elk came from the Dakota Zoo, but obviously they're already making themselves at home here at WPZ.
From the second their trailer arrived at WPZ, Huckleberry and Holly have been off to the races, quite literally running to their new home. And what a home it is, a sprawling hillside fully stocked with everything they need. Branches full of leaves, sweet, sweet grass, and a brand new family.
When we introduced them to the other herd, it literally took minutes for them to integrate.
The zoo's 3 older ladies have been waiting for a new man to lead the herd, and thankfully, Huck is up to the task. Well, kind of.
Huck went up to one of the females and was being all sassy with his young self, and she's like, "No, I'm an adult."
Good thing he has Holly, a buddy and buffer, at least until he grows into his antlers.
Their bonds are growing, their relationships are growing.
Now that we've introduced you to one of the largest members of the deer family, how about the smallest and arguably the cutest? You can always get your fawn fix with a brand new baby poodoo on exhibit.
Whoa, it's so cute!
Can you see him? Look closely. Okay, how about now? Yep, that is a 2-month-old baby poodoo, and yes, he is absolutely adorable. Poodoos are already the smallest deer species in the world, so you won't find one much cuter or tinier than this. He doesn't have a name just yet, but we're sure these proud parents will come up with something.
Okay, let's shrink things down even even further to the smallest animals at the zoo because, yes, bugs are animals too.
Whether it's bees, beetles, butterflies, flies, moths, you name it, pollinators come in all different species, shapes, and sizes. And this is a pollinator's paradise. Don't be fooled, because these sometimes called pests are actually the best. Sure, they get their food from flowers, but the plants get pollinated in the process, and we get oxygen in return, meaning we quite literally need them to survive. And they need you too. All they need is a little food, water, and shelter.
If people think about their backyards, their decks, their balconies as a piece of a bigger ecosystem, try to make it as diverse as possible. But if you really have a robust hanging garden, basket, or a robust little patch of land that has a bunch of diversity in it, you're going to see more diversity.
The goal here is to plant a smorgasbord of plants, a little something for everyone. And if you happen to attract some not so welcomed insects like ants or spiders, try spraying a mix of vinegar or soap and water instead of a pesticide. Your garden and your pollinators will thank you.
And pollinators in the PNW are just scratching the surface on the wonderful world of bugs.
After you.
All right. Welcome to Bug World.
Still ahead, get ready to leave your fears at the door and step into a whole new world. A bug world, that is. The high-tech add-ons that will make your eyes pop and your jaws drop. Plus,
This is the female, and she's kind of showing off for you a little bit there.
all the creepy crawlers you don't get to see on display.
Sue, who do we have right here?
So this is our giant African millipede. I call him Millie.
How's this for eye-popping?
Okay, several hundred legs and several hundred reasons to love him. We're going to go through all of them after the break.
And before we go, you know bugs are everywhere, but do you know just how many there are compared to humans on our planet? Stick around to see if you were right. Welcome back, everyone. Now let's get straight to the answer of that trivia question. Because if you guessed D, you're correct. Bugs outnumber people by 1.4 billion to 1. Yes, that is billion with a B. That's a lot of bugs, and there are hundreds of thousands of species in the world. Of course, you won't find that many here at Woodland Park Zoo.
But the ones they do have are amazing, and thanks to some new upgrades, there are habitats and species of different bugs from around the world. This is the new and improved Bug World.
From the desert to the wetlands, even the tropics, each terrarium inside Bug World gives you a vivid view of your favorite, not so creepy crawlies. Each one a window into a whole new world of different species in different spaces.
Oh my gosh, there's 2!
It's all of the surprise and delight, and none of the fright.
I like Bug World!
For these visitors, you could say Bug World is a big win. But an enormous amount of planning went into this itty-bitty space. It started with a design and a dream, brought to life in a matter of months thanks to a pretty incredible exhibits team.
How rewarding is it to see this all come together?
This is amazing.
Quite literally building this space one piece at a time.
This is the perfect height for a kid.
Even the height designed to give the kiddos a great view and the parents a little distance, maybe just a foot or two. Now look inside. LED screens show a moving world that can be changed as the exhibit changes.
To my knowledge, this is the first of its kind bug exhibit that has screens as backdrops.
Do you recognize any of these backdrops? Here's a hint, they are all places at the zoo. Now keep walking and you'll see the biggest change of all, the lighting.
We can be part of those studies. We can inform bug husbandry throughout the country and throughout the world with our little bug house here at Woodland Park Zoo.
With your little bug world, your big bug world.
Exactly.
All right, see this off-limit space right here? This is where they breed the bugs and keep the ones that aren't on exhibit. Some of them are super rare. And yes, we get to take you inside.
Can I have something in my hand when we start that's really cool?
Meet Sue. She's a keeper here at WPZ.
That I just feel incredibly lucky to have this job.
A sweet Southern belle with an unexpected specialty.
Invertebrates, bugs, insects, spiders.
Bugs. She's not afraid to reach in and grab one, hold them. You may even see one crawling on her.
And they are kind of fast. But yeah, it's a pretty cool animal. And he's letting me know he's kind of had enough now. So
Even if you are cowering in the corner.
we'll give him a little quiet time.
Sue is pretty much the queen bee of bugs, so naturally, we asked her to show us some of her favorites, and boy, did she deliver.
He's really cute. He's a veggie eater. All he does is eat trash. He can't jump. He can't run very fast. He can't bite you.
First up, a giant African millipede she affectionately calls Millie.
He couldn't possibly hurt me unless I tried to eat him and choked on him.
And just when you think those bugs can't get any bigger,
I'm trying to hold him so he won't punch me.
the New Guinea stick bugs come out.
Okay, so tell me about, these are huge, Sue. These are huge. Are these the biggest bugs that we have here?
These are some of the largest insects we have here. This is the female, and she's kind of showing off for you a little bit there.
To Sue, these are just really small, hard-shelled puppies with lots of legs.
But it's all in just being around them and like learning how to handle a Belgian Mal as opposed to a poodle, because that's a skill set too.
Oh, that's not a poodle, Sue.
And she wants you to love them just as much as she does.
Why is it important to you to build empathy with visitors?
Because what you don't love, you won't help save. And especially the children, letting them be exposed to the amazing animals we have here, that to me is the most important, is education.
So you saw all the cool new upgrades inside, but one of the most amazing features is outside. See all of these grooves in the wood? The zoo tells us these were made by clams in the Puget Sound.
The beautiful patterns we see in this wood are natural animals at work.
How cool is that? This wood is actually salvaged log booms from the early 1900s. They were used right here in the Puget Sound to corral lumber, and the zoo sourced it from local businesses in downtown Seattle.
It's local, and it also creates a habitat on the front of our building for us. So mason bees and other insects will use this as a place to live.
So next time you step into Bug World, you'll know you are walking past a home to bugs as you enter a world full of them. Okay, before we go, one more thing I want to show you. Have you ever wondered what it would be like to be as small as a bug? Well, how about a bug as big as you? Here, you can. Welcome to Bug's Eye View.
Immediately, you come face to face with a 15-foot tall scorpion. Yeah, watch out for the tail and pinchers because they're moving. Thankfully, no venom here, just some very realistic animatronics. This is Bug's Eye View, an exhibit at Woodland Park Zoo where the roles are reversed. The bugs are big and you are itty bitty. Keep in mind, this is a temporary exhibit happening now through September 4th. So make sure to visit the zoo's website to learn more about how you can come and see it for yourself.
Well, that is all we have time for, but there is still so much left to learn. So be sure to check out all of our episodes of Wildlife, a look inside Woodland Park Zoo on KIRO7.com/zoo. We'll see you next time, guys.